character and paragraph styles. Before we begin, can you go to Windows, Workspace, make sure we're on Essentials and reset the Essentials. Collapse any pop-ups. Go to File, Open, and select Style Bags.InDesign. If the missing fonts come up, ignore it this time round. You know how to fix it from the last example, so we just select Close. What we're going to do is work on the fonts down here today, so I'm going to use the magnifying tool, magnify into it a bit so we can see it a little bit better. And what I want to do is show you a way of formatting this using styles and the reason why you would use them. But before we begin, in our last example, we kind of used the Enter key to shuffle all this text around. So it was in the right space, or place rather. But that's fine, it looks fine like that. But when we start to edit this, say, oh, we want this to look different, so we're going to use a 48 point. See, this has moved down. We might even want this to be different, so we decide, oh, we actually want it to be 14 point. Again, this has moved down. And then we start repeating this on. The arrow begins bigger and bigger and bigger. And if it's over many pages, it's going to get just out of control very, very quickly. So we need a way to contain that. So if you can go to File, Revert, and click Yes, that'll just reload in the document that we're working on. And again, I'm going to zoom in so we can see a bit more clearly. So before we do anything else, what we're going to do with the Type tool, we're going to click at the end of the cost here, because this is where the finish of this column should really be. And then we're going to go to Type, Insert Break Character, Column Break. Notice the shortcut here is numpad enter. So Insert Break Character, Column Break. And that will then automatically move anything from below here into the next column. And all those empty lines have gone into, so we can just delete those. And again, we'll do the same here at the end of the cost. Type, Insert Break Character, Column Break. Again, delete those extra lines. And at the end of the cost, this time I'm going to use the keyboard, numpad, enter. And again, delete those extra lines. Now, what we're going to do is look at making some styles to make this all look a bit better. But before we do that, just to prove a point, if I change the size of this now, change the size here. Okay, it's all changed size, and this lot hasn't all shuffled around and become a bit messy. So I'm going to Control Z back to that. Now, we're going to use styles, so we need to have the style palettes open. So if we haven't got them on screen already, we go to Windows, Style, Paragraph Style. You should have the character style comes in with it. If it doesn't, just go to Window, Styles, Character Styles to bring it open. I'm going to dot close into our palette section over here. First off, we're going to start with a paragraph style. By default, there's already one. It's called Normal, and that's what this lot already is. It's starred as that. So we're going to make a new style. So create new style. We're going to double click on it, and we're going to name it Body Text. It's based on nothing, but you could base it on another style. So if there's already a pre-existing style that had a layout you kind of like, but you just want to tweak it a bit, you could base it on that style. But we're not basing it on any style, so we're going to keep it as normal. What we're going to do is just make a very simple style. So basic character format. We're going to change the font to the classic Arial again. I know, exciting. With a point size of 14. And that's all we're going to do. And then just do OK. While you're in here though, if you want to have a look at some of the other options you've got, there are lots of things. You can change the color, so you could have a default color of pink, yellow, whatever you decide. You could even have indent and spacing, so if you want the beginning of your paragraph to have an indent, you could do so, etc. But like I say, for today we're keeping it nice and simple. And we do OK. And what we're going to do is highlight all the text. Remember, if you click twice, it selects one word. Click 3 times, it selects a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should select the entire story. The other way of doing it, of course, is to put your cursor in and go to Edit, Select All, and it will select the entire story. Once we got that done, we click on the body text and it will apply that style to all of that text. But you have to select it first. If you just have it within, say, there and select it, it will just do that paragraph, i.e. a paragraph style. So again, if I have it just there, you'll just do the paragraph. Where a return's been pressed, that's the end of a paragraph. So I'm just going to select those areas again and do body text. Next up, we're going to look at doing a character style. Now, a character style is similar to a paragraph style. It's where you can make your own styles. So I'm making a new style, double clicking on it. I'm going to give it a name of title. But a character style will override the settings of a paragraph style. So if you have a paragraph style set to an object that has a character style to it, it will be ignored. The title, or sorry, the character style would override that. So we're going to go back to basic character formatting. We're going to set the font family to Arial again, and the font sizing to 18, and the font style to bold. Where's the style? Font style, there we go. To bold. And click OK. This time we're going to select the titles and just select title, for example. Move across. So the title has now been set and all is done. So we double click on our hand, admire our work, and see if it's what we wish. If we then decide that something needs changing, what we could do is decide the titles need to be a little bit bigger. Fine, we go back into our character style, double click on our title. If you click on preview, make sure so we can see what happens live. Go back to our paragraph formatting and we can change the size, say, to 24. You can see them changing in size there. We could even, for example, change the color if we wanted to something else. But I'm going to cancel out that and just leave it as is. So that's character styles and paragraph styles.